Okay, I guess it's just us. Um, so I'll post the agenda in this chat here. And this is the right date. Great. Okay, so first agenda item is the update on the ProgPow audit. I don't know. We don't have either Charles nor Hudson here. I don't know if anyone has anything on this subject.
Not sure. Was that discussed in previous call? They all called their calls? I don't think so.
No, it hasn't been discussed. Yeah, I think Charles had the updates last time. So yeah, given he's not here, maybe we can ask him to post an update async. Okay, second update is the hard fork coordination update. Does anyone have anything there?
Not much. I think we should start involving James if we want to keep this on our agenda, because he is the one who is looking after this time, like this Istanbul entire thing. That
We should.
sense.
Who do you, I missed the name.
James Hancock.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like he might be a bit busy to come on these calls, but it might be worth reaching out to him and asking him because yeah, he's been doing a lot of that work.
Yeah. Otherwise, like I mean, I was reading through your post about whatever you wrote after the last all coordinate meeting. It was really nice that we should be looking after thinking of it, like improving the process.
Yeah, so I'm happy to take an action item to ping James and see if he'd be interested in helping out here.
Yeah, I mean, it can be other way around as well. We may be helping out to him too.
Yeah, exactly. Just giving an update and seeing what we can do. But yeah, I'll follow up with him. So yeah, I'll check in on that.
Yeah, that would be nice. Thank you.
Great. Let me just write this down, otherwise I'll forget. Cool. Constantinople postmortem.
I think it is just like the last time, previous time, I had added that as a PR, and Lane had commented on it. Charles added some comments. Let me add the link over here. If anybody would want to add more comments, that would be nice. Otherwise, we can go ahead. I mean, somebody can go ahead and like accept it. I don't want to do it myself because it would be nice to get it reviewed again. There are two different files. One is the emergency com template and another is the ECH contribution guidelines.
Yeah.
So everybody can just have a look at it. And Lynn, the other day we I found your comment, and also Charles added something. So do you think that it should be okay for now to take it ahead, and then if somebody comes up with better ideas, we can go on adding it?
I had a look at the comms template, the emergency comms template, and I had a couple of things to add, but I have everything kind of in a Google Doc just because I'm still kind of getting to know GitHub a little bit. So I can circulate that in the group, and then we can maybe merge the two and see if I'm, you know, where there's a few things missing.
Yeah, of course, that would be great. I don't know.
Cool. Bear with me. I'll circulate it in the group channel now.
Cool. Anything more on this?
I do not have anything more on it.
Okay. Next one is funding, accounting / multi-sig. I think last call we said we had to look into it because of the ProgPal funds and how we want to deal with those and account for those. Lane, I think you were looking into that. I don't know if you have an update.
Yeah, so I briefly began looking into this with, who was it? Someone else was helping briefly. This was a couple weeks ago, so I can't remember who it was. But we followed up, so there's that ticket still open with Gitcoin. And we did finally get the accurate dump of data from Gitcoin. I think it was William, I'm just checking. Yes, it was William. So he and I looked into this a couple weeks ago, or he primarily did. We finally got an accurate data dump from Gitcoin of all the transactions that came through as a result of both of the campaigns, right? So there's the original one to fund the cat herders, and there's the second one for ProgPow. And William began the painstaking work of sort of sifting through them and trying to reconcile them against what we actually see in the multi-sig, and didn't get very far. So that's the only status update I have. The good news is we have the data. The bad news is it's going to take someone some time to sit down and just kind of go through these and reconcile them one by one and kind of figure out where the anomaly is.
Okay. Anything else? Anyone else have anything to add on this? Okay. Next agenda item was the DevCon workshop. So not much of an update there, except I've submitted the workshop and we'll see if we get accepted, I guess, in the next few weeks. And then, thanks. And last one, number 6, any other business? So is there anything anyone wants to bring up?
Yeah, one thing that I mentioned in that meeting, note-taking thing, like I wanted to come up with a process thing for new people to, I mean, like to find it helpful how they should start taking the note-taking process. But I want to discuss this thing before writing it up formally. I hope we would not be following the Gitcoin thing anymore, and the process would be taken care by the calendar that Brett has created. And like he created the calendar for everybody who are interested, and then scheduled for whosoever will be taking notes for which call, which day. And the note submission process would go like attend the meeting, notes it, submit it. And I would be referring the guideline template shared by Lane for the meeting, for the first meeting that we took it out to the ECH to take the notes. And then the person would be adding an issue for funding that this job has been done. We have submitted this thing, and the person would be adding it as an issue. And then we can follow up in subsequent ECH meeting. Does this sound like a good process that we would be following from here onwards, or we have to go back to the Gitcoin bounty thing?
Sorry, my internet broke up. I missed the first part of what you were saying.
Earlier, we used to have a process like if we have to write notes, we
Yep.
Bitcoin bounty. Somebody
Yep.
will apply over there, and then the person would be selected, and the process would be taken forward from there. But
Yep.
now, since we have people on board who are like 4 or 5 people are there who are taking notes of different meetings. So Brett came up with a calendar, meeting calendar. So he actually have made it very nicely that no one person should be asked to take 2 meeting notes, and he did it really good. So I was thinking that now we can have a little change in the process. We can go by the meeting calendar created by him, and whosoever wants to join, although we think that we are covered, he made it covered for a year. But whosoever wants to join, he should reach out to Brett to add him to the calendar. Then the person would be taking notes, submit it at the respective places, like different places. Then he would come back to ECH issue for creating ECH GitHub to create an issue that this notes have been submitted and funding is required. Then he would also mark it to Lane, Charles, and Hudson, because they are the one who would be issuing him the fund for the task. And then we can follow up in the subsequent ESH meeting that this job is done. And going forward, we can make some process like this for other tasks that we take in future. So I was just hoping to have your opinions, like, is it a good way to proceed?
So I guess my only concern is, does it make Brett the sort of bottleneck to the process? And is that different than what we currently had?
I don't think so, but definitely I would like to take his opinion since he is not there. I cannot say it for sure, but I had been seeing him. He had adjusted a few people in the calendar, and that calendar, I believe we can put it on GitHub and can be shared. People,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
access that and do it.
It seems reasonable to me. Does anyone object or have like counter argument?
Okay, in that case, I'll check with Brett if he's okay sharing this calendar, and then we
Yeah.
can go and put it on GitHub.
Sounds good. Anything else anyone wants to bring up? Okay. Oh, Brent, I saw you got unmuted. Did you want to bring something up?
Yeah, can you hear me? Just testing.
Yes.
So it sounds like to me right now, I'm assuming the calendar, the master calendar is the Google Doc that Brett created. So it sounds like we're proposing to move that master document into GitHub. Did I understand that correctly, or is?
Yes, that is what exactly I'm proposing.
Okay. Okay, yeah, just wanted to clarify that. So, yeah, Jim and I are supposed to be taking notes for this meeting, and we're still trying to get up to speed exactly how everything works. And so, is are the notes done in the MD? Because I'm not very, I don't know GitHub very well. And
yeah, I can share that template with you, the note-taking template. Yes, that has to be done in the format of .md.
Yeah, could you share that with us?
Yes, of course, I will do that.
Great, thanks. And what tool do you typically use to edit that?
It's Markdown, I guess.
So GitHub will give you a nice like UI for Markdown files. If you're not familiar, it might be worth. I'm just looking up if Gist will do it. I don't think so. But GitHub gives you like a Markdown view if you upload files there.
Right.
And just for formatting, I find this link useful. I posted in the chat the like cheat sheet. I refer to this a lot when I'm writing like longer documents with links and everything. Yeah.
Markdown cheat sheet. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, and this is being recorded, right? So Jim and I will be able to watch this later and
yes.
make the notes later once we understand how to do that.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Thank you much.
No worries. Great. Anything else anyone wants to bring up? Okay, then I'll just walk through the action items. 9.1 ProgPow audit. We won't do this because it's on hold. Separating the funds. Lane gave an update on this. Reviewing the document created by Pooja. This is what we already talked about.
I think we should remove going forward. It's not required anymore.
Yeah. Okay. So we should remove 11.1. I agree. I feel like 12.2, I guess look into this discrepancy with the Gitcoin bounty amount, and then 14.1, double check the funding from Gitcoin. Are those duplicates?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we should merge those at the very least. Follow up with Hudson and resolve to decide what to do with ProgPow funds. I feel like we said we would separate them. So does anyone disagree with that? And if so, we should probably just mark this as done.
I think we can keep it open till it is actually done. If the process, like Gitcoin process, is cleared and the fund is separated.
Okay, sounds good. 14.3, William to work with Lane on the initiative to perform an account of the current Ethereum cat herders funding. We talked about that as well. Create a vote within the cat herders DAO to decide for the amount for note taking. So we had that vote. So this one is done. Engage with Hudson regarding the requirements for streaming of Ethereum cat herders calls. I'm not sure what was meant here.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Me and Brett was discussing that this call for Ethereum cat herder meeting. If we are planning to live stream that, more people should be aware of the process. Like right now, Hudson and Lane can do that. But if I would be willing to volunteer for that. I guess Brett is also ready to do that. But if a couple of more people would know about it, then we can make an advance notice to the community that we are going to have this call. And if somebody wants to participate, he can go through the live call. And we can share the link to just come up with the, watch us over there. And if they have any questions, we can take it there. People who are interested in participating more, we can definitely send them the invite to join the Zoom call, but other people can also watch us through YouTube. That was the idea.
Okay. Yeah, does anyone want to follow up with Hudson about this?
Yeah, I think I can check with him, like if we can go ahead and do that for cat herder thing.
Cool. So Pucha 14.5 will be yours now. 14.6, Tim to raise a PR. So I did raise that PR. I don't know if Lane, you have merge access on the Ethereum PM repo, but if you do, I just posted the PR in the chat about just adding the link that Hudson shared in the past about live streaming instructions.
Yep, I do. I'll take a look at that. If I can merge it, I will. No problem.
Great, thanks. And final action item 14.7, Lane to create a separate Gnosis wallet to assist with registering reputation with DXDAO.
Yeah, so we did that. Sorry, I've just had a whirlwind couple of weeks, and I'm just trying to recap everything that happened a couple of weeks ago and exactly who was involved. I don't want to mischaracterize anything. I worked on this with someone as well, but I don't think it was William. I thought it was Brett. I believe it was Brett, who I think is also not on the call today. Again, I hope I'm getting that right. We set up a Gnosis safe account. As I think I may have mentioned by text message, the team functions are not enabled yet. So I think in the future, the idea is you'll be able to attach multiple externally owned Ethereum accounts to it and sort of control it that way. So what we did instead was we just shared the private key. We transferred 100 DAI into it, and then he used, so that was obviously against the multi-sig and myself, and I believe Hudson approved that. And then Brett used those funds to stake in the DXDAO initialization process, like we discussed in the last call. And just as a reminder, I think that's a 30-day staking period, so those funds will be returned at the end of that period. And of course, we can share access to that Gnosis safe account with anyone else who wants to play with it, but just be warned that we had a lot of issues getting it to work. It was quite, we had some kind of bugs and things we had to overcome.
Cool. Anyone else have comments on that? Okay, so that's it for everything we had on the agenda. Final call, does anyone want to bring something else up?
Yeah, I have still a couple more questions trying to learn the process here. So
Sure.
We went to the GitHub. I expected the Zoom meeting to be posted. Is the same Zoom meeting link used for all cat herders calls? So in other words, the next one will be able to use this same link. Is that the way it works?
Sorry, I didn't understand your question. So if everyone uses the same Zoom link?
Well, I'm just wondering, I expected my understanding was that the Zoom meeting link for the cat herder would be posted to the cat herders.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
so
it's on, yeah, it's on the internal channel, and this is because we typically only like had people who wanted to contribute in the internal channel, and it just. Sorry, go ahead.
So the Gitter channel that I'm subscribed to is where all the communication takes place, and that's why I was disconnected from. So yeah, do I need to be invited to that internal? So internal Gitter channel is different than the meeting notes.
Yes. So yes, I will invite you to that. I feel like maybe we could just post the links in the general channel, like we do for all core devs. And then if people come on and they don't really belong there or have any like strong reason for being there, we can just ask them to leave. But typically people don't really do that. I think it's happened like once or twice in all the core devs calls I was on. Would anyone disagree with posting the Zoom link more publicly in the public channel?
I think we can post that, but yes, as you said, that if somebody would want to contribute and come join us, then it's worth having them on the call. Otherwise, that's the reason why I was mentioning about the YouTube live streaming, so that people can.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think as an easy first step, we can just share the link in the general cat herders community channel from now on. And Brent, I'll add you to the internal conversation channel just because you've been working on a couple things related to cat herders. So typically
also,
the internal. Sorry, go ahead.
Jim Bennett, also my partner. We're both working together. So if you could invite both.
Yeah, sure. I will do that.
Great.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Of course. So anything else anyone wants to chat about? Okay, then I guess that's it for today. Thanks, everybody.